Mr. Madison, the Industrial Revolution changed the face of the modern novel forever. Discuss, citing specific examples.
Come on. Okay. The Industrial Revolution, to me, is just like a story I know called The Puppy Who Lost His Way. The world was changing, and the puppy was getting bigger. So you see, the puppy was like industry, in that they were both lost in the woods. And nobody, especially the little boy, society, knew where to find them. Except that the puppy was a dog. But the industry, my friends, that was a revolution.
Mr. Madison, what you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Okay, a simple wrong would have done just fine, but...
Welcome to the Bucket Wire. It's your host, Glenn Cadell, a.k.a. John Avenue, a.k.a. Greenlaw. If you wonder why I sound like a Decepticon right now, I've got some new toys and I just felt like playing with them a little bit, but I think we're gonna cut this shit out. Alright, back to our regular schedule program. Welcome to the Wire, motherfuckers. Here we are, week 11. Things I want to talk about this week. I want to talk about the journey. You know, sometimes it's not always the end result, right? You've had good times along the way. I think about like a roller coaster, you know, the end kind of sucks, but it's fun along the way, right? Like building something, you know, like half the fun's in construction. It's like, you see it, you're all into it, and you're like, how can I make this better? How can I do this? How can I do that? And then when it's there, you just sit there and look at it, and you're like, yeah, it's great. For me, that's like cooking. The most cathartic part is the actual prep work and putting the plate together and making people smile. And when it comes to eating, I'm like, yeah. I mean, the flavor's good and all that kind of stuff. It kind of wraps it up in a bow, but still, it's about the journey, right? It's not the end. It's how we get there. Belt and I were talking earlier this week about some of our most fun fantasy moments, and a lot of them fell within the journey. There was a great story of Belt thought he was down and out and everything, all hope was lost. And then came back and won last minute, and it was incredible. The win took him to the championship game, but it wasn't the championship game. And he said that was actually his most exciting moment in fantasy, which was kind of cool, right? I mean, just that fact of grinding and then the setup and all the drama and so on and so forth, you know. Mine definitely had to do with winning, but it also was because of the setup, the journey to get to that win. It was a wild journey. I'd actually made the championship game the year before. Belty had Kamara go for 7 touchdowns on the first game of the slate, and I was down 56 points to start, and he had one player play. Climbed all the way back, made it back to the championship game the next year, and then I was down again, had one guy left, Devontae Adams, playing against 2 guys, and he was up, and I love Devontae Adams for that. Came back. That was a wild moment. That was a wild moment. I was on the phone with Bell and Ebb. We all got to share it and threw down a few shots in 1942. Hell, I finished the bottle. That was amazing. Great night. We've had some fun, right? I mean, I want to thank everybody for taking time out of their work week, personal life to listen to this bullshit and comment and call me and stay engaged with the league. And look at us. 2 games from first, 2 games from last. Everybody's in it. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but I know this. Belty roasted, Case roasted. Papa roasted. Dylan roasted. Who's next? I don't know. But it has been fun. It's been a hectic fall. A lot of going on at work. Personal life's been crazy. Don't take that the wrong way. Like the good crazy. Holidays are coming up. Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa. All the good times. All the good times. Anyway, what else is going on? We're not going to talk politics, but we could, but we're not doing that. Why don't we go ahead and skip to the top 5, right? I know that's what you really want to hear anyway. Bring in my music.
This week's top 5.
All right. So, something I've been thinking about deeply is topics for the top 5. Came up with something that I think we all participated in. And that's watching cartoons. I don't want to talk about the cartoons as much as the bangers that precluded the show. I want to talk about top 5 cartoon theme songs. Now, the parameters are this. They had to be from our childhood. SpongeBob SquarePants, hell of a banger. Can't count that, right? If anybody says Barney, you're getting dotted in the eye. Wonder Pets, fire. For my parents out there, Yeah, and we ain't gonna fuck with DJ Lance. But I want to talk about ones we had growing up. So, one, if you had that sick day and you had to stay home, man, you were watching TV all day, and as soon as that, like, you were cued in, you were queued up, glued in to the TV, and if you were, like, had that roll-in TV, with the clicker, or you had Nickelodeon at an early age, woo, doggy. All right, but one for me to get my day started, if I had to get the TV on, I didn't get to watch TV too much in the mornings. That was kind of like a no-no around the house, but sometimes we'd have it on, and I remember this one coming in, and, my number 5, it was a toss-up between 2, but I'm going to let it play, and then I'll tell you what the other 2 were. Yeah, that shit was fire. So the 2 was obviously Jetsons and Flintstones, man. And I love Flintstones. Like, love Flintstones. Love Flintstones. Had the vitamins and all that. But Jetsons was just, like, futuristic. The way he just, like, folded that car up and put it in his briefcase. Dropped all the fam off. I don't know. It had a futuristic vibe, and I dug that shit. Coming in at number 4... one that, yeah. That shit was cutting edge, bro. That was like, we're past 80s now, right? Like, I mean, Enter Vanilla Ice. I mean, I'm pretty sure Dr. Dre had already made Banger NWA and stuff. So like we're rounding the corner from classic cartoons, and it had that. You know, I definitely was all Cowabunga Man. You know, I was ready for it. Wanted the van. There was always a van. You know, you think about that 18 van, the Mystery Machine, Turtle Van. But what about this banger right here, number 3?
Spider-Man, Spider-Man, does whatever a spider can. Spins a web any size, catches thieves just like flies. Look out, here comes the Spider-Man.
Here comes the Spider-Man.
Is he strong?
Dun, 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 dun. I remember I had a coloring book when I was little, and one of my babysitters, it was a Spider-Man coloring book, and I had, scribbled all outside lines, and I'm pretty sure my Spider-Man was orange and green, and that's just how I felt. That's what it was all about. But no, she brought over some markers or something and did that shit like perfect, and I was like, I think I hung that on my wall for years, and every time I looked at a Spider-Man does whatever a spider. That was from the 60s, I'm pretty sure. So, anyway, hell of a banger to get the show started. Love Spider-Man. Really stood the test of time. Okay. They should make a movie about Spider-Man. Anyway, let's get to number 2. This one right here. Holy shit. It was hard. I went back and forth with number 1, number 2, but this one ridiculously fire, and you know why. They ended up even making a freaking full life song, but let's go. I don't even need words. I mean, that dude was like the embodiment of cartoon MacGyver. But, love that show. God, and that beat, oh man. How many times has that been redone? They were on some shit. I think they were just back there just like chiefing down as, what do you think about this? Hold on, what you got? And they're like, why you gotta go so hard on them, dog? All right, you know what number 1 is. If you weren't going around, I was singing this all morning after I like working on this. I was like, oh my God, I've been like full on belting this around the house, and literally Lauren looks at me and is like, what the fuck are you singing? And I'm like, God, we're old. Cue to tape.
Life is like a hurricane here in Duckburg. Race cars, lasers, aeroplanes. It's a duck blur. Might solve a mystery or rewrite history. DuckTales, woo! Every day they're out there making DuckTales, woo!
Woo!
Tales of daring, do bad, and
DuckTales, woo! It might be a mystery or a duck blur. Dude, that shit's fucking a bop, a banger. Oh my God. I'm pretty sure I've recorded 250 raps to date. Nothing that good. Nothing I've ever done will amount to how fire DuckTales theme song is. God. Life is like a hurricane here in Duckburg. All right. Well, I had an honorable mention. Didn't make the list, but oh, fuck it. Play it.
When you room looks kind of weird and you wish that you weren't there.
Oh my God. You know what? It's funny. I tried to get Charlie into the Muppets when he was little, and he was terrified, dude. He would be so scared. He would literally cover his eyes like, cut it off, cut it off, cut it off. I don't even think to this day they're possessed or something's weird about it. I don't know. I love the Muppets, and Muppet Babies was my jam. For a little while, okay? Not gay. Jesus. Fucking weirdos. All right, let's talk about some masculine shit. All right, let's get into some sports betting. How about we check in with old Tomster Tom?
Short, fat, bitter, drunk, making all the plays, chasing down the winds, living for the craze, betting with a grin, he's got winning looks. Short, fat, bitter, drunk, versus all the books.
All right, Tommy's been versing all the books, but we got to keep it true to the record. Tommy is now 1-3. I think we picked the wrong week to get started on this thing because he had been on a roll, and he bets nightly, and he's up, okay? He's up. That's all you need to know, all right? Thousands. Up thousands, all right? He's a thousandaire. So this week got two hot ones. One, Bills against the spread. So they're 5.5 point favorites right now. I like that. They're at home. Him and Baker have been talking shit all week. Love this bet. I'm placing this bet for sure. Not $2,000. I'm probably doing $20. That's a big one for me. And then we also got 49ers against the spread, which is they are 3-point favorites, road dogs, and I'm pretty sure that's going to happen as well. I don't think you got to worry too much about that. They're going to take care of business. Jacoby Brissett is a starting quarterback. James Conner's done for the year. Marvin Harrison had an appendectomy. He gone. So they're hoping that Amari DeMarcado, Michael Wilson, and Jacoby Brissett get it done against the 49ers. Good luck with that. All right, let's keep it moving because we got to get out of here. It's a weekend already. Took me forever today. Cue the music.
Short, fat, bitter, drunk, making all the plays.
All right, two things I got to get out of here. One, is anybody interested in rib-off? We talked about it a couple weeks ago, and really would like to do it. But if it's just me and Tommy, I mean, Tommy, you're welcome to come over here. We could just do rib-off at the house and spare all that heavy lifting and early morning rising and all that kind of bull smack. But if we can't get it done, I know everybody's got things going on, but please let me know. Rib off. If you want to do the rib off, let's do the rib off. Era. And I still don't know if McRib is available. I don't think McRib's available yet either. And please, if anybody hears of one, let me and Crunch know. Thank you. All right. And lastly, next week's trade deadline, guys. So, after this week, it's put up or shut up time. Gonna have to figure it out. All right, going into the holidays, and I don't want to see it. I think it's been a very interesting year, and I can't wait to see the end because that photo finish for that last playoff spot is gonna be wild. I guarantee you, there's gonna be some tied records. There's gonna be some people who've been in the upper echelon all year. Might find themselves in the bottom bracket. And last thing, I know I said 2, but I got 3 here, and this is one's important. And this is because of this year. I started thinking about it a lot. And last year, Yahoo came out with a new function similar to the NFL, where you can have 7 playoff teams, and the number 1 seed gets the bye, and you got 6 teams duke it out in the wild card rounds, and then you go on to the semifinal and then the final. Actually, kind of leaning into that, and I really like that idea. That would only leave 5 people out of the playoffs, but it would really, aside from bringing in the 7th team, it would also really reward that number one team, because the guy who finished second could have whatever kind of point total, whatever. I mean, it's like we're giving a bye week to second, and just because we've always done that, doesn't mean we always got to do that, So just think about it. Get back to me. I'd like to hold a vote for next year. Obviously, we're not doing that this year because the rules were set in place, and I don't even know if I could change it at this point, but I love the idea going forward. 17 playoff system, one team bye, and let me know what your thoughts are, and have a great weekend, guys. We did it again. Serps.